So it's 5:30. We gonna kick off the wind down tonight, and I'm so excited because tonight I have my first guest host. Let me bring her on. Yes, hey girl,
Hey.
hey girl, hey. For those of you who don't know, this is the Miss Brittany Searcy, and
Hey.
for me, for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Ronesha Nation. I am the broker owner of Our Nation Realty. Tonight we having Wind Down Wednesday, and I got my girl Brittany on the line. What's up, Brittany?
Hey. How you doing?
I'm good. No, really, I appreciate you for being a part of this. I've been knowing Brittany since 2014, and we've always had some really good spirited conversations. And so I'm really excited to have you here, and I'm pretty sure that the WDW crew will benefit from your wisdom tonight. So thank you.
Of course. Thanks for inviting me.
Yeah, so before we get started tonight, I just want to acknowledge my favorite girl group of all time, Escape. Shout out to Escape. Everybody see Escape got nominated for the Lady of Soul Award on let me put my earpod in. I'm sorry. Anybody see Escape got nominated for the Lady of Soul?
Yep. It's about time too. It is about time. I didn't even realize
I
SWV got
know.
it back in 2017. So they're 5 years overdue for acknowledging the other best girl group.
SWV got it too. Oh, they did
Yeah,
get
in
it.
2017. Because I looked it up.
Yeah.
I'm like, wait, did they get one? But they did. Well before Escape though.
Escape, yeah. I mean, that's good though, because SWV is still one of the best groups out there, except for doing the dang on what do you call that thing? The battle? What's that? When they be
Oh,
battling?
versus.
It's, Escape killed them on the verses. Who's in the verses?
I remember seeing it, but I think it was neck and neck, honestly. Because you know when anybody's gonna sing a song, all girls gonna be like, I get so all girls gonna go to weak.
Of course, they had a few hits, but no, that was not a tie. Well, yeah, Toya, what you saying? I see your emojis. By the way, Brittany, I don't know if you know Paris, my girl Paris. She said that you and her went to school together, and in Ontario. So y'all,
Ontario?
Ontario.
I
Her
mean,
name is Paris
probably.
Brown. Yeah, it's been a while. I know you've been
Paris
out of state for
Brown.
a while. Yeah.
Yeah,
She,
I
yeah,
have.
she killing it in these roles. Anyway, I know some of
Hey.
y'all got these tags. We don't know who you are, but yeah, if you missed the verses, go on YouTube and watch it because Escape definitely killed it, showed out.
Yeah, I'll probably go back and watch it so
No,
I
but
can
I'm
believe you.
excited though, cause it's time for our girls to get their just due. So I'm excited for them. And excited for them getting their flowers. They deserve them.
They
They
do.
definitely paved the way for a lot of girl groups and a lot of artists in the industry,
Yep.
a lot of samples. So
Mhm.
I'm excited for them.
Yep.
In other news, did y'all see in OKC the man giving HIV, just going around giving out HIV willy nilly? Did y'all see that? It was a bunch of YouTube, Instagram, all kinds of stuff all over the news, but dude was on here just flashing around HIV.
Careless, reckless, irresponsible. I don't know. There's just so many words you can describe something like that. And, even thinking about it, it's like, when you think about it, is it something that was done maliciously or was it
Yeah.
something that was done, just carelessly or, that person, if you think of a little bit of empathy, you know, are they feeling bad about the virus that they have and they don't want to share the news? But at the end of the day, it's illegal and you just didn't give anybody else the option, to choose because people who have HIV are in relationships too, but now you didn't give
Yeah.
anybody the option, so it is what it is.
Layla said he should be sentenced to death, no games. I
I
see
mean,
that
that's
this
really
morning.
what he did. He might have
Crazy
sentenced
he get
someone
his
to death.
ass whooped.
Yeah.
Toya said, wasn't there an SVU episode about? I don't know if it was an SVU episode, but real talk, it was this guy. Y'all can look him up. If you from West Atlanta, Douglasville, it was this guy who went to school with me. His name was Gennarlo Dobbs, and they called him the Grim Reaper because he had HIV and was going around giving it to people willy nilly. This happened since I was in the Navy, so I just happened to come across the doggone news article and see his face, and I was just like, dang. But this how they get you, because they have the guys had both guys, the one that was recently in the news and the one I know, light skin, pretty eyes, the whole shebang. And women are allowing their guards to be down because they see these fine men. I don't know why they do it, but it's a reason why he was able to go around to multiple people having unprotected sex and pass this virus to them. And I say that in both cases.
Yeah. I agree. He definitely probably had a slick tongue, along with his looks, saying
Mm-hmm.
whatever he wanted to these women. But, even though he was saying what he said, the women should have known, like, I have to protect myself too, regardless of what this man is saying. He may have said he didn't have anything. He may have said he got, recently checked for HIV or any other STD. But these women have to remember, women have to start carrying their own condoms too, have to make their decisions about who they're going to decide to sleep with. So it's
Definitely.
unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you just don't know how dangerous people can be and how careless they can be.
Yeah, Perry said complete scumbag. I agree. What's up, love, Mika? Layla said, why are we having unprotected sex and we got to be careful out there trying to say, yeah, I agree with that. It's so crazy because we hear these stories over and over again. And I also know at some point in a relationship, we allow our guards to be down and we allow ourselves, I mean, when you're in what's supposed to be a monogamous relationship, I understand people not having protected sex when they feel comfortable, but at what point, like, do we start having a conversation around saying, hey bro, before you hit it, we gonna hit this clinic? Or at the very least, women starting to feel the responsibility to carry their own the condoms and saying, hey, you're gonna have to use this, we can't move without it. Like, is that not why aren't we having that conversation? Yeah, Layla, before you hit it for me.
Yep.
But I think it's easy for me to say because I've been in a relationship, for so long. I haven't really been out there and having to think about that. But I don't know. Like, can we say that those conversations are honestly being held? Like, if you guys have been out in those streets or you have utilized those words, how would you say that? Like, let's hit this clinic before you smash. Like, I say smash because Jessica just logged on and her name is Hawk Smash. So, what's up, Jessica? So, but before you smash, when do you have the conversation? And how do you say, let's hit this clinic, or, making sure that you're carrying your own con? Oh, I think it's my body, so I should be responsible for carrying my own protection. What do you think
Yeah.
about that?
The conversation has to be had right away, just because you just never know what to expect with people. And even if you don't think about STDs, there are unwanted pregnancies that you want to prevent too. So, you can't expect, somebody else to protect you more than you should protect yourself. So
Yeah.
right off bat, those conversations have to be had. You have to understand when you start talking to somebody, or even when you're going out for the night, you're getting ready on a Friday, Saturday night. What are your intentions for that night? Are you thinking like, okay, I'm trying to come home with somebody that night? So you need to decide, like, if I'm going to come home with somebody, one, I need to make sure I'm scoping them out. Two, I need to make sure that I'm protecting myself. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's scary out here, and even with marriages and monogamous relationships, people break that too. So
Yes.
as soon as you think you can trust someone, you have to remember, like, you don't put anything past anybody, and
So
that's scary.
Tori said a lot of women aren't taught to hold this standard, but I'm gonna say, so I don't know if y'all saw this, but y'all can look it up. The Atlanta barbershop. You seen it, Brittany? You know what I'm talking
Oh,
about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
So it was this barbershop in Atlanta. This made everybody ain't ready for this conversation, but we keep it real on the wind down. But it was this barbershop in Atlanta, and at the barbershop, these men, and we talking about married men in monogamous relationships, but the barbershop was basically built for, I guess you could say down low men who was interested in having sex with other men. So you log on to this and you see these guys getting a haircut, and in the midst of getting a haircut, they performing, getting oral sex performed, and the barbershop even had like a full price sheet for prostitution. Yeah, Siobhan, no lie. They
Yep.
had an actual price sheet basically for prostitution. And you see these guys on this at this barbershop who come in and getting this haircut. I mean, you just would never even begin to think, but I guess you can say that was the safe place for them. But at the same time, like, we hear about these down low relationships and sexual relationships, and then even outside of that, people cheating. So at what point can we feel comfortable being safe with somebody if this is what people do? Because can you really trust somebody? Yes, Sharon, you got to look it up. Like,
Hmm.
I cannot believe I watched the video, but
Oh, I watched
I
it
did.
too, out of curiosity, but I was like, wait a minute, what they got going on?
What is that? Like, I heard about it and I was like, let me see what they talk about. Because the person who described it to me, they wasn't full transparent in what I was about to see. But when I seen it, it was like I couldn't believe what I was watching. It was
Yeah.
crazy. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, you have to have the conversations. That's all it is. I just saw something on Facebook. The best relationships have the most uncomfortable conversations or something like that. So even when you're in a relationship or a marriage, you have to have those constant conversations like, hey, am I meeting your needs? Are you meeting my needs? Are you trying to see something? Are you trying to see something? Are you trying to do some stuff outside of
Yeah.
this? But it's men out here getting lineups
Lined up.
and more. Call it
No.
lineups and more.
Lineups award. Yeah, you brought up a good point. And obviously this isn't the topic for tonight, but I think it's an important topic. And since we talking, let's just keep it real. But you brought up a good point. Um, Talking about checking in those relationships just to make sure, because we just have to constantly be prepared to protect ourselves, and we all had the lineup special. And Paris, don't be bringing your husband in this. I am not. Nope. I met your husband. He's a nice guy. I ain't got nothing to do with that. No, but yeah, just continuously checking in, and especially out here in California, like, these extracurricular relationships is way different than my experience on the East Coast. Open relationships is like 50-50 down there.
Yeah.
Polyamory, that's that's a comfortable practice in a lot of people. And I'm not saying that's 50-50, but there are a lot of people that are having those type of relationships. And I just think at the end of the day, you have people out there like that. The guys were both fine, like in my experience, and the guy that's in the news, the guy that's in the news, handsome guys. I could see him swagged out in the club. Yeah, they got their mug shot, but it was kind of like a prison babe. Y'all remember Prison Babe?
Mm-hmm.
But but yeah, they out there giving these ladies HIV, and it's crazy, super crazy.
Yeah,
But
it
hey,
is.
you know how these ladies catching them, right? You know how they catching these me.
Oh, I know. I haven't practiced it myself, but maybe I might try it. I might try it and see if I might get a different response from my husband.
See how they
Who
respond
knows?
tonight. So check this out. Me and Brittany was talking about this today. Hey, say something in the chat if you heard about vabbing. If you heard anything about vabbing, put something in the chat before we talk about what it is. Anybody heard about what is vabbing?
Vabbing. Vabbing.
Brittany, tell the people what vabbing is. The people want to know. The people want to
Well,
know.
vabbing, you guys, is when you take when women take a sample of their vaginal secretions and they use it. They use it as a perfume. They use it as an attracting magnet to, I guess, the opposite sex. It may work with same sex, but opposite, no, vabbing with a V. So pretty much you just, take a swipe and then you dab it, dab it, dab it. And it's supposed to attract the opposite sex, pheromones, how they do in nature um, during mating season. Yes,
Yes.
just like pheromones.
So I could not believe it. So I went on TikTok. I'm with this TikTok nowadays, guys. But I went on TikTok and I was seeing it, and these women, she says, that's straight up nasty. For one, witchcraft. For two, yes, these women really, really believe it. They really believe that it
Yeah,
it works. Yes, they. I don't know if it works or not, but you know,
I
you
can.
ain't got to tell me you bad, Brittany, but just tell me how Aaron acted the next few days. Oh my God, is it
I'll,
safe to
I'll,
try?
I'll let you know. I mean,
Yeah,
I can imagine it working when you think about it because that's human nature to just be attracted by pheromones. But who knows? I mean, but that will also be mixed in with your perfume and just like how people say your natural scents, um, like whatever your body naturally secretes as a natural odor or scent, it attracts certain type of people. So if you just enhance it with a little bit of that
Dab.
vagina juice, then and you might go home with a husband. You never know.
Hey, I got a lot of single friends, and so who knows? I mean, who knows? If you put a little coochie juice on your neck, I mean,
Exactly.
who knows? If you end up with somebody new, look, he said, I definitely believe it.
Hey. Now I wouldn't say for you
Hey,
to try it yourself. I don't know if men can
look,
do the same thing. Put a little bit of
everybody.
secretion behind your ear and see what happens. I don't know.
Toya said everybody natural scent. I don't want to spill nobody's natural scent, okay?
No.
Like, but I ain't go. But hey, it's hard out here. So if you want to vow to, get your little, try to open up the door for some loving, just make sure you having protected sex because folks catching AIDS out here these days.
Exactly. Full circle moment.
Yeah, there he
And
is.
shout out to Escape.
Yeah. No, so but today I'm excited to have this quick conversation with you guys. So um the WineDown, this is a place where we come together and just try to lift each other up and elevate and have some real conversations as we grow. So I'm excited to have you guys here tonight. We were supposed to have this conversation last week, but I'm gonna introduce it tonight. And it's just talking a little bit about budgeting and planning. So that's been my MO for this last month of really trying to dig deep into my budget. And it is not easy. It is not easy at all. But I've really been trying to get into my budget because the last couple of years, I guess you can say I was spoiled. I had two checks. I was doing my real estate business and I had my Navy job. So money was coming in and I just was not worried about what happened when I went to swipe my red card. And I never really had to think about budgeting. But as I started to plan and get out, good to see you too. As I started to plan and get out and try to make plans for the future, I want to buy more properties. I want to do different things. I said, where is this money coming from? Like I know a lot of people who have made a lot less money than me, but they got way more money in the bank than me. And I started asking questions like, how are you doing it? And I got a lot of good feedback, and it's something that I'm working on now. So um, I don't know. Everybody have different budget plans. And before I go deep, do you, Brittany, have anything, or does anybody have any different things that they share as far as like how they choose to budget or how they plan or put money aside for future planning?
Yeah. So everybody doesn't differ. Of course, California costs a little bit more, so there's those conversations you see about splitting bills and all that. But what my husband and I, what we do, it makes it easier for us when we take our checks, direct deposit into our personal accounts. We keep an allowance for the 2 weeks. and then we put the rest of our money into a joint account together. And in that joint account, it makes it easier when we work with so much more money. With our joint account, we have mortgage, car insurance, car note, all the bills, daycare, groceries, everything, gas comes out of that account too. So with our allowance, that allows us to have the money that we want to do, whether we want to save it for our personal account or do whatever we want and go to Starbucks every day. But the main thing that I've noticed when it comes to budgeting is, like we were saying earlier, is not only how much money do we have coming in, but where is our money going?
Yeah.
And I definitely can say for us, we've lost track of where our money goes, because the money that we make is the money that we make. But the money that we're left with at the end of the month, it's like, okay, where did this go? How many times did we eat out? How many times did we order pizza on a Friday? You know?
Yeah. And I've learned that's the key to success. Like, money is gonna come in, money is gonna go. But two things I learned. So I started following Budget Mom at the recommendation of one of my best friends who use her religiously. Like, this friend, she knows her money down to the penny, and I admire to do it, but I admire her commitment to it, because I feel like we are so uncomfortable having conversations surrounding money. And because we're uncomfortable really talking about it, we don't share information that could be helpful to one another. So I want to just take a little bit of time to share some of the things that I've learned, because like I said, I haven't had an issue paying my bills and stuff. But as I started to prepare for my future, and I'm like, I know I got money coming in. Where is this money going? I had to start identifying different things to do. So before I get into it, I'm going to read some of the comments. Let me scroll down. Our household, Layla said her household has a bill book that tracks all of the house and bill money. That's great. Like, at least, you guys have a plan. Yep. That is how I have an account set up. I use an app, can tell you down to the penny where my money goes. Yes, I have a set budget, and the bills are split between 1/15 stocks, IRA, and saving money gets added on the first. That's good, Chantrell.
Okay.
I recently heard about using life insurance policies, yeah, in a way that you can, hold on, let me read it again. I recently heard about using life insurance policies in a way that you can use the policy money, which doesn't come out of your pocket. Yeah, that's a whole insurance policy where you can get cash benefits after you stack a little bit of money. But that it is a way that people save, so that they can have money for the future. That's another option.
Hmm.
What I've been doing lately, and I'm going to show you guys this, because y'all know I be trying to be as transparent as possible, because I don't want people to think, people, have their own, visual, whatever they think, but I don't want people to think that I'm in this struggle just like everybody on here, just trying to figure out how to make it to the next level, right? I don't think there is a perfect person on here, but we all have something to share. So what I've been doing, and I'm telling you, I've been doing this for like 2 or 3 weeks. It takes a lot of time, but I downloaded this book. Damn, I didn't write the name of the book down, but it's an author. She's a black author. She wrote a book about budgeting. The first thing she challenged us to do was to go 3 months back, what in our credit cards, our bank statements, everything, and start to categorize everything. So the way I did it, I'm gonna show you guys just a little piece of paper, is I went through and I put my credit card bill. Y'all see all that green? That's food. Me eating out. And I did not realize, like, I'm like, when I did the math in my head, I'm like, yeah, I'm spending like 250 when I eat out going. But when I did that, I was like, shoot, this week I went to Starbucks 3 times because I was in the training class all week. Then I went to lunch twice, and then I went out to dinner. When I go out to dinner in California, we spending $150. Especially if I'm paying for 2 people. When I go to lunch, unless I'm going somewhere fast, I'm spending $50. That's just how it is out here. Yes, visuals always make it clear. So when I did this, I itemized everything and put it in colors. I put my gas, my entertainment, money for household expenses like Walmart, candles. And basically the idea is you separate it as much as you can for 3 months. you take that 3 months and you create the average on what you spend, and you use that as your budget. And so
Mm-hmm.
with each one of those categories, and people have different categories. Like for instance, I was only thinking in my mental budget, I was thinking I'm probably spending about $100 a month on, well, probably about 300 because I know I get my hair done every month on beauty. But I just paid for me and Nina to get our nails done this time. She's been paying lately, so I felt like I had to step up before I lose her. But anyway, and that was $180. California
Yeah.
is ridiculous. So my mental budget just ain't keeping up. So
Right.
once I started doing that, it was an eye opener. So the idea is you take this, you categorize it, and then you put the cash in for like whatever, however you get paid. If you get paid every 2 weeks, whatever it is, you put the cash in different envelopes. So I have an envelope for my meals now. And once that money is gone, my entertainment money is gone, is gone. But it's as first of all, you do this so you can be realistic about what you're actually spending and not just guesstimating. If I only say I'm spending $150 on beauty, that's my guesstimate, but then I won't be able to get my hair done, and now I'm not happy. It's not set up so for failure, it's set up for you to be successful. So then
Mm-hmm.
once you get your stuff categorized, you can start to identify that money, break it down a little bit, and then you can start putting more money towards savings if you're ready to start really saving, or paying down debt, however your priorities, and everybody's situation is different. If you're interested, I will send you the name of that book. It's been very, very helpful for me. And also, I talk to my friend all the time because I'm really, really, really working hard to try to get a handle on this. I want to set myself up for the future. I have plans to buy more property, and we're coming up on the end of the year. And I want to practice these tools over the next couple of months, especially in the holidays. And really in the next year, I really want to be able to start making plans with my money. So, okay, dressed up today. I had some work. I had some work today. Yes. But yeah, I had to go to. Never mind. I'm not getting into that. But yeah. So I wanted to bring this to the wind down because I don't want us to be uncomfortable talking about our real money issues. I want us to be comfortable talking about it here and share information here because it's all about us growing together.
Mm-hmm. I do have a question though. So, what do you think about um, with savings? What do you think about saving first? Well, I guess it works after you budget. Saving first, paying the savings account first, or whatever's left over, putting that into savings. What do you personally do, or what do you recommend?
I think if you first of all identifying where your money is at, you know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Putting your money in categories, and then once you identify where your money is, put that money towards saving. You can't
Mm-hmm.
you can everybody say pay yourself first, and I agree with that. Like my accounts are set up for it to go directly to savings or go directly to TSP or IRA or whatever the case may be. They're already set up that way, but not
Mm-hmm.
everybody's is set up that way. So I think if you're starting from scratch and you haven't established certain savings stuff, first of all, identify where your money is. The milestone that I read, and everybody's situation is different. Pay the minimum. Pay the minimum on your bills until you have at least $1,000 saved, and then start to identify which debt you want to pay off first. So you can go
Okay.
based off of your highest or lowest balance, or your highest interest rate. So some people say pay your highest interest rate off first. Some people say pay off the lowest balance. And the idea is you pay more to the one with the lowest balance, pay the minimum on everything else. And once you pay off that one with the lowest balance, you roll that money into your next bill with the lowest balance, and you roll that
Mm-hmm.
money. And so once you get your budget set, you really don't have to keep you always looking at it and evaluating it, but you're not really taking more money. Just don't create more debt as you paying debt down. You just continue to work on
Right.
your debt down payment. Hey, Mary. But yeah, I agree with the pay yourself first, but not everybody is there. I've always heard 3 months monthly expenses, and I agree with that too. Like, but I feel like 3 months is such a daunting number for some people. It's like, how can I save, you know, $15,000 when I don't even have 500 saved. You know what I mean? So realistic milestones, I think, is important for people to meet their goals. You know, smart goals. It's making them realistic for you. And then once you
Right.
meet that milestone, we set another milestone to accomplish. You know what I mean? So
Hmm.
that's how I look at it. I know it's a lot of people on here with way more money than me, so please feel free. What up, Bianca? Feel free to say something if you have something to share to add. Most banks, Trina said, most banks also have a budgeting tool. Yes, through their OLB. What's OLB? Online banking. You set the categories and then set a budget from there. It lets you know when you're close as well. Yeah, so my USAA account, it has it lets you know how much you're spending, and it kind of categorizes. And I also used to use another tool, online tool. Dang it, I can't remember nothing today. But it's a very good online tool that I used to use.
Is
Let
it
me see.
like Mint?
Mint, yeah,
Yeah.
Mint was pretty good because you can connect your checking account right to it.
Right.
But what I
Yep.
found and it worked for me for a minute, but what I found with Mint was I wasn't always keeping up with it. So I think like forcing myself to have to take action every day, like do something with my budget, will force me to look at it on a regular basis. And
Hmm.
I also think like with something like this, you have to take ownership of it. You can't just it's not a passive thing. When you are setting your mind to a particular goal, you have to be actively involved in the process for that goal. Am I making sense with what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But yeah, so I just wanted to kind of touch on that budgeting, and as we start to prepare, like don't be scared to challenge yourself. We're going into the new year. You know, I believe in New Year's resolution. My birthday is December 31st, so every year I come up with something that I'm trying to accomplish. But I feel like we have to set ourselves up for success. So starting
Yeah.
it now so that we can be have a visual and really be able to make good plans, I think is helpful. So that's why I wanted to have the conversation today.
Yeah. I definitely think when we try to itemize our budget, which we've tried multiple times at different pay grades, and now that I'm out, we've tried once we both bought new cars this year. So we definitely tried to itemize things, but it's just we've noticed that every month is something different, whether it's
Mm-hmm.
you need a new set of tires, or we went to New Orleans a few weeks ago and we spent more than we expected, but I mean it was something that we wanted to enjoy too. And then we're thinking about going to see my husband's family in the next month, so that's another expense. And then we're thinking about just little things here and there. Say we want to paint a bathroom, so now we're adding, which is the things that we don't account for in our itemized budget. That's what kind of just throws things off, which is why our 3 months of trying to itemize things, it's harder because we have so many odd expenses that come up all the time.
Yeah.
So I just think we need to develop a strictness so then we can actually see what we're doing. Like we need to
Yeah.
sit down somewhere for a
And
few
so
months.
I definitely don't think it's a one size fits all, and I definitely also think that it's a moving target
Hmm.
for people like people when you only got so much. You got to try to be responsible, as responsible with it as possible. But like Chantrell said, I plan out all those extras. Like I know a lot of people who have categories in their budget for all of that. Like one of my coach, we was talking about budgeting last week, and he was saying how like for his car maintenance, all these different little things he has particular categories for. And I don't want it to be like super daunting where I'm like, you need about 20 categories because everybody's priorities are different. But I think just really getting started and just trying to take ownership of your budget and continuing to work it, I think that's going to be the best thing for those success. Who Noodles BX, I'm not familiar with that person, but they said add those things to the budget, which would help to manage dreams and spending. Like that, dreams and spending, yeah, because we do have dreams. We want to do good, a lot of things,
Yeah.
and I think we can have everything that we want, but I don't think it just happens. I am a planner, and I don't think it just happens. It's DJ. Oh, hey. I don't think things just happen. I think, we have to plan for it if we want it to be successful. So,
Yep,
yeah.
that's a good
That
point.
DJ girl, I'm sorry. Shoot, I don't know everybody thing. But anyway, I'm excited about what's happening on the Wind Down. First of all, thank you all for showing up tonight. Brittany, thank you so much for being here. I had a lot of fun with you. I'm looking forward to doing it with you more. How was it for
Yeah.
you?
It was fun. I've always said that I always have something to say about something. So now I'm just like, now let me just talk. Let me talk. I'm going to sit here and talk. I like to talk.
Free
Let me talk.
yourself. Free yourself. So coming up on the Wind Down, I got a lot of good things. I do know that I talked to you guys about bringing the lawyer on. Let me just let you guys know what happened with that. So I had spoken to this lawyer and been in communication with her about her coming on and discussing estate planning, not escape, even though that's my group. But anyway, doing this estate planning. But for some reason, she just started like ghosting me, not really being as responsive as I want. So I reached out to one of my broker friends who also have a lawyer that she and just try to make connection. But in the meantime, I have a lot of good things coming up for the Wind Down. So I've been reaching out because I feel like we're at a point now where I want to start bringing on professionals and experts to talk to the group. Next week, I have my buddy. Some of you guys know him. His name is Earl Roberts. He is the owner of Feed Your Dreams, which is a clothing company. He recently got his clothes in Athlete's Foot, and I know him just from being a country boy, in church at the barbershop cutting hair, and he's now just taking ownership of his dreams, and I want him to have a conversation on how he did that. Also, I got Jay Council. Some of you guys know this. He is the author of Rich Kids Biz, which is a financial literacy book for kids. He's going to be on here at the end of the month. I got Siobhan. Some of you guys know Siobhan. She is a relationship expert, so she's going to be on here next month. Mel, Chris, we got a lot of good people coming up over the next few months for the Wind Down because we want to be better. So continue to show up, continue to bring your friends. We'll continue to try to have a good conversation for you guys and with you guys. But in the meantime, I'm just happy to be here tonight, and I'm happy to have y'all with me.
Yep, it
Anybody
was a
else?
good time.
Hey, for y'all who joined in the last 5 minutes, I want y'all to know right now we do not be trying to be out here all night. It's a little Wednesday night touch. So come on out at 5:30, 8:30, wherever you at. And have a good time with us. But if nothing else, y'all, I love y'all. Much support, love and support from the Netherlands. Look at us. What? We got
Hey.
another country on deck. I love that we international, y'all. We international on the Wind Down. But yeah, so I'm excited to be here. I'm excited, and thank you guys for coming. And I hope